Welcome to the Art and Hustle podcast, a gallery of conversations, a space where you can hear all the amazing stories and life lessons of my guests. I'm your host, LINDALCHEUNG, fashion designer turned multimedia artist, and I want to give you a space to tell your story.
Fine, all right. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Linda, how goes it?
How are you?
Good, good. Let me try to position this so I'm not so cropped. How about that? Okay.
There we go. Fix my back here so you get my whole...
Yeah, you look like a studio thing going on.
I set it all up. I'm in my garage.
Okay. Hey, that's how most of these people do it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it works, right? As long as you see the little cropped area.
Exactly.
All right, so welcome. This is going to be the Art and Hustle Gallery of Conversations. Welcome, Sid.
Glad to be here.
Thank you so much. So give me a little bit of background about your training, school, how you started with your arts. Have you always been doing it since you were young?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I went to the School of Hard Knocks. So I've been doing this professionally for almost 40 years, if you can believe that. And I started with doing movie posters. This is post-college. The first poster I did was for Toxic Avenger, a cult classic back in the day for the Trauma team. And then I segued into doing book covers. I was doing publishing for a while.
Yeah.
And that was that was a hard experience. Publishers back then, I don't know if they've changed, but back then they would easily take 3 months to pay you.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just not in that type of business. So I was just about to, give that up and drive a truck. And then things started to happen. Just started falling into odd jobs. I was doing painting. Let me back it up. I was recreating paintings for a gallery on Madison Avenue. They did posters and paintings, so they would have people like recreate doing Mona Lisas or whatnot. So that was a great learning experience. Yeah, that was great. At the time, I was like playing with airbrush, so I was like in charge of the airbrush department. So I did a lot of photorealistic renderings and so forth. And then I fell into fashion, and this is after I would say struggling for about 10 years.
Yeah.
I fell into fashion. And
how did you find it? Did you interview for a fashion job or?
Exactly. I was just interviewing back then for jobs, and things were so different back then, not to date myself, but this was pre-computers. Computers were just beginning, in fact, to get into the scene. So a lot of renderings back then were done on Xerox printouts, and using magic markers. If you knew who an artist was in the fashion industry if they had multicolored fingertips, because that for some reason markers, no matter what you did, they ended up on your fingertips.
Yeah.
So that was that, and then computers kind of segued in, and then licensing picked up. So a lot of style guides were not up to date, or should I say, they weren't as complete as they are today. Many style guides just had a logo or two, and that was it. So I actually had a hand in developing art for style guides. Most
Oh,
notably that I remember was the Mad Magazine television show,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is ironic because you would think Mad Magazine had like, a ton of work, but I guess it was licensing issues with
Mm-hmm.
using, Mort Drucker's work or the other artists. So we had to create art, and all you could basically do is use Alfred
Mm-hmm.
E. Newman. So so I took his head and put him on various bodies, and then
Yeah.
the other show was in living color.
Yeah. Oh, I
Their
love.
style guide was literally just the logo. So I did a couple of renderings of Homie the Clown and
Mhm.
whatnot. So,
Yeah.
but I've worked on easily over 100 licenses
Yeah.
since now and then, between Warner Brothers and Marvel and Disney. And, that's been my bread and butter for the past 30 or so years.
Mm-hmm. So
And,
how's COVID and quarantine affected you and your arts right now?
as an artist, and for me personally, uh, being quarantined, as they called it, was a beautiful thing for me. I like solitude,
Mm-hmm.
and it allowed me to just paint and work and develop and just do my thing. Um, you know, the circumstance of COVID, of course, is tragic. The lives lost and the mishandling of it, the lives and jobs lost, including mine.
Yeah.
But
And mine too.
yeah, so but it gave me a chance to do things. Like I said again, and to have that time to myself. And I've done just work that I would not have been able to do
Yeah.
had I was still giving. I would have been able to do it, but of course I wouldn't have done it at the volume that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it just it is what it is. You got to grow.
Yeah.
And
So
the beauty of
have you pivoted your career now, or are you still looking for a 9 to 5 or?
Well, I'm doing my focus now is my online gallery, SID Blaze Gallery, SIDBLAZEGallery.com.
Okay.
And I've been developing that and working on that, and the sales are coming in, marginally, but it's not really enough to sustain. But it's something that's growing, so
Okay.
I'm cool with that. And as a business, it's only been up. It's been less. It's been up for about 9 months exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So with this whole world of social media, you gotta do the branding thing, and that
Yeah.
to me has been the biggest challenge.
And you have it up on
Uh,
Instagram too? What's the Instagram handle?
it's on Instagram. I got Instagram, Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I have a video channel on YouTube, Blaze Vision, and they're all tied together.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with branding is a trip. We live in a society that's all about labeling, and that's always been. Post or pre civil rights, it was about alienating.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
post civil rights, it's still about alienating, but there's another factor to it, to where it's bring attention, because in 2021, racial and gender barriers are still being broken. So you got to call those things out. But as far as me, as far as branding my work, the challenge for me is, if you take a quick glance at it, you'll say it's black art. But I was never a fan of that, because to me, art is art.
Yeah.
You don't look at Da Vinci's work and say that's white art. You know what I mean?
It's
So
art.
it's art. It's art. So I've been kind of like just dealing with that.
Mm.
So but other than that, it's cool. You got to do you at the end of the game. You
Yeah.
got to be true to you.
Yeah.
And I have projects on in the mix that are just going to be even more eclectic and diverse. So I'm really not sweating that.
Yeah.
But that's my main focus right now, the gallery. I
Yeah.
still do freelance work.
Okay.
I still got some clients that take care of me. So and once in a while I'll look at the ads for jobs. But for artists, they want a technician now more than they want an artist.
Yeah, I
They got
agree.
all these listings of
Yeah.
they want you to know these 8 or 9 programs, which no artist does.
Yeah.
I don't know any artist that is proficient equally in 8 or 9 programs. It's just, you know, they're looking for a robot. They're not looking for an artist.
Totally agree. I totally agree. You just need someone to be able to operate the machines. You don't really need the creativity at that point anymore these days.
They don't care anymore. You know, it's talent. You know, again, I'm dating myself, but there was a time when talent actually mattered.
Yeah, and you were drawing everything. You're getting your hands dirty, designing all of it and researching and all of it.
Yeah, data entry should not be part of our job.
Yeah, then that's what they need these days. They need somebody who's more proficient in data entry and just computers and operating all of that.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with art. Yeah, you know, if you unplug a computer, if you can't create art, you know, then you're not an artist. You know, like I said, they really want a technician more than they want an artist.
Yeah, like when I started out in fashion, also I graduated college in '99. And originally my first job, that's where I learned Illustrator. They needed someone to do Illustrator and put everything into the computer and flats. And all the designers didn't know computers either. So they hired all these young people, assistant designers, to learn Illustrator and to put all their sketches in the computer. So that's where I learned how to do everything.
Yeah, well, you know, I learned computer on the job also.
Yeah.
And then computer is a cool tool, but at the end of the day, that's all it is.
Yeah.
You know, if I could withstand the pain, I could cut off my hand and do a better rendering with the stub than a lot of these kids out here today who just know how to click, drag, cut, and paste.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, and I'm not patting myself on the back. It's just that, you know, I think as an artist, you should always be growing.
Yeah.
You know, I paint, you know, in fact, going forward, I tend to paint more than creating digital art. You know, digital art is fine, it's cool, but there's just something about that organic look of a painting.
Yeah. That
I personally always like, you know.
And then you got into the NFT, right? You put some stuff up.
Very briefly. You know, that I did get into it, but you know, the one thing they don't tell you about NFTs is that you need to have like 20,000 followers.
Oh.
Because it's really a thing of your work in the minds of the purchaser having value.
Okay.
You know, if you have like 20,000 followers, let's say 10,000 followers, then, you know, subconsciously or mentally, psychologically, they feel that your work has value to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not about, because the whole point of buying an NFT, especially if you're going to spend, you know, a couple $1,000s on it, is that you hope it increases in value. Yeah. You know, as far as the usage go. But the interesting thing about art is that any artist, regardless if you're in a world of NFTs or traditional art, you never know when an artist is going to blow up. Like, you know, imagine owning a Picasso before he became Picasso. You know what I mean? His work was not always priceless. Yeah. And, you know, if you like an artist, it shouldn't have to be, you know, you buy it because you like it. And that should really be the guiding force. You know, paintings, of course, can be an investment. If you're spending $10,000, $20,000 or $1 million on a painting, that's an investment. Yeah. And you're investing in an artist that you suspect their work is going to increase in value, which I think all artists do anyway. You know, I think especially in today's world of you know, this cyber world that we live in, anyone's work has a potential to increase in value. Totally, I totally. So, but that's the thing with NFTs, though. You really have to have a massive following for them to really take off. You know.
It's gonna get there, Sid. I love your work.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm not sweating. Look, I made a living off of this. Yeah. You know, and I consider myself an underground artist in the sense that I do have a following. It's just not blown up. Yeah. But you know, underground is cool.
I loved your stuff. That's why I was really excited when you joined me in the Art Hustle shows and you had your jackets that you had painted.
That I'm getting back into. I'm actually promoting them more now on my gallery site. I just started really promoting them. Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna see how that goes. But yeah, that's just another thing. You know, another, like I said, going forward, I really just want to paint. Yeah. The painting is, you know, I build my own frames. The frames average in size about 5 by 4 feet. So I might even actually start going a little larger.
Nice.
So it's just something about the painting that I love, which I stressed before. But like I said, as an artist, you're always growing. And the jackets I'm working on new canvases. I got like several groups that I want to work on. And time right now is my nemesis. So if I didn't have to sleep, I would just be going and going and going and going.
That's amazing. Was there a specific artist or somebody who influenced you to?
Oh, tons. Starting with Da Vinci, Leonardo, and then Michelangelo. What I loved about these guys is that they just didn't do one thing, especially Da Vinci. Da Vinci was off the chain. Da Vinci did everything. Da Vinci, his renderings, his anatomical renderings are still being used today. This guy was actually dissecting people to render, I mean, he was an inventor. It was a true meaning of a Renaissance artist. They just constantly, him and Michelangelo painted it beautifully as he sculpted, so, I try to be a diverse as well. I paint, I do digital art, I do animation. I want to play with, I got the clay to start doing some sculpturing. When I find the time, I'm going to do that. So that, and then, modern day artists, like I said, I love Moore Drucker from Mad Magazine, Al Hirschfield, a lot of caricature artists. Those were my, comic artists as well, like Marvel Comics, Jack King Kirby, and then heavy metal, Richard Corbin, so I could just keep on going. Alex Ross, Andre Leroy Davis, who did the Source magazine back page, last word illustrations. So just so Norman Rockwell, I could just go on and on and on and on, but all these guys are just to me fantastic artists. Drew Struzan, Amsel, cut me off when you have to. Because like I said, all these guys, I just loved all of it.
Also, my next question would be, do you have any advice for like younger artists who are like starting out now?
I would just say stay focused. Stay focused on what you're doing. Be careful about criticism, and praise. Both criticism and praise are worthless without the why. If someone says your work is great and beautiful and all that, well, that's nice to hear. But why? Why do you like it? That is encouraging. And conversely, if someone says, "Oh, your work, I don't like it," well, why? That may be painful for some people to hear, but it also lets you know if that person is giving you valid criticism. Like, if someone says they don't like your work and you ask them why, and they say, "Well, I just don't like it." Well, that person, that's worthless. But if hey, well, look, your composition is this and that, or you color this and that, and so forth. Well, that's something to learn or to grow off of. So like I said, I just stay focused. That is so important. Stay focused and have a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Have as many plans as you can have. Treat it like a chess game. Not checkers, but chess. Always try to have as many options available and grow. Don't ever get full of yourself. Don't think that your work is so great that you'll never get better. At my age now, I am as good as I've ever been. And if I keep going, if senility and arthritis don't kick in, I'll be my best the day I croak. You know what I mean? So, those three things: stay focused, have backup plans, and just keep growing. Just keep growing.
That's great advice.
Produce as much work as you can do. And get out of your comfort zone.
That's true. Definitely
get out of your comfort zone. That's how you grow as an artist. Like, there are things that I don't like to do. So that's what I do. I've worked on paintings that I knew were going to be a challenge. In fact, I'm working on a painting now that is actually taking me a ridiculous amount of time to work on, only because there's so much going on in it. But I knew that before I started.
Yeah.
And every painting that I've worked on, I knew was going to be a challenge. And I was able to finish them. So this bad boy, I'm going to finish too. But I got some other paintings I want to jump in on.
So is it a commission piece or a piece that you?
No, this is all personal. All personal.
Okay. What is it? What's the subject?
It's actually a Gothic image that I did. It's got elements in it, and you know, it just has a lot of elements in it. It's I wouldn't call it it's surrealistic in that there's just so much going on in it that you just kind of like you know, it's just an image that I came up with actually years ago. A lot of the paintings I'm actually doing are images that or graphics that I did for either shirts or just stuff that I liked, you know, or did like 10, 12 years ago. So this is one of those designs. It's you know, it's got the skull, the guitar, you know, the glass of alcohol, candle lit, backlit. It's a very eerie painting.
Well, it sounds amazing. It sounds like multi-dimensional, lots of layers.
Yeah, in fact, you could see on my Blaze Vision YouTube channel.
Okay.
I do a slight lesson or tutorial on a section of the painting. You know, so if you want to sneak that peek, you could do that. That's Blaze Vision on YouTube. Just when you go to YouTube, just type in Blaze Vision.
Okay.
And Blaze is BLAIZE. And same with SID BLAIZE Gallery and SIDBLAIZE.net. That's my portfolio. So all these things, you know, that's like I said, that social world you got to be in to let people know that you're out there. Yeah.
No, that's great. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. I know I tend to ramble, but, you know, it's nice talking to you, Linda. Great seeing you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was great having you. And I really appreciate that you joined me in my Art and Hustle show. So hopefully we can do another one.
Well, the Art Hustle shows were great. I'm sorry I didn't comment on those. You know, those were great. Those were the, you know, I've done gallery shows before, but they were like 30 years prior. So, you know, but the shows that I took part in, I thought it was just a great experience, a great learning experience. Yeah. And in fact, I wanted to try to set up a show you know, that following year, and then COVID struck. So now that's kind of, you know, on hold.
Are you gonna do a solo show? What are you planning?
I was thinking, I mentioned Andre Davis. You know, him and I might do a show together. We've spoken about it. Yeah. Or it'd just be a solo show. You know, either way. You know, by that time I will have more than enough work. Yeah. I have about 30 jackets right now. And again, they're all on the website, and I have a handful of paintings. Yeah. So I'm just gonna, you know, keep growing on that.
Yeah, I'm excited. So, I can't wait. Definitely keep me in the loop when you.
Oh, please! Actually, I was going to drag you into it too, as far as just helping me set things up, because
I would love to. I would love. I'd love to be a part of it. So yeah, keep me posted. Definitely, I'm down to help or whatever you need for that. Like.
No, you'll be there front and center.
I'm ready.
Definitely.
Okay.
All right. Well, good, Linda. All right.
Thank
well, great.
you so much.
Love you.
All right. Have a great day.
Thank you. Peace. Bye-bye.